The plane was an ATR turbo twin prop. It went down at around 4 p.m. local time yesterday afternoon. The flight was going from Vientiane, which is the capital, down to Paksay, which is the main city in southern Laos, and that's the key gateway to the tourist areas in the south of the country. We understand, according to a statement from Lao Airlines, that the plane hit what they called extreme weather. And it crashed into the Mekong River. Now, it's important to be aware that there's been a substantial typhoon crossing the region. It's caused many deaths in the Philippines and in Vietnam, and that's the weather that we've had here in Thailand, and that's the same weather, of course, that they were receiving in Laos yesterday. So it has been very wet with a lot of heavy rain. So that's what they would have been flying into. And we have the confirmation there are 6 Australians on board this plane. Yes, that's right. Initially, the Lao authorities said 5 Australians on board the aircraft. The Australian Department of Foreign Affairs has now said that their understanding is that there were 6 Australians on the flight. My belief is that the difference in the numbers may be because I believe there were children on the flight, one of whom may have been an infant, and therefore the passenger manifest may have been misread. Now, again, not fully 100% confirmed, but I think that might be the reason for the difference in those numbers. And I think we're talking about members of 2 families, possibly one family of 4 adults, 2 adults and 2 children, and 2 adult men. We're showing pictures of people on the banks of the Mekong River retrieving debris from that river. Take us through this part of Laos, Zoe. Is it fairly remote or otherwise? It's a very beautiful part of the country. The Mekong obviously winds its way down from Tibet and China through northern Laos, right down through the south into Cambodia and all the way through Cambodia, and then spews out as well in Vietnam in the Mekong Delta. The river is very wide there. It's been a wet season, and as I said, another typhoon crossing now, but it's not the first one we've had. The river is very full, and it would be at its fullest point at this time of year. Paksay, though, is not really a remote city. As I said before, it's essentially the service centre for that part of the country. And based on the hour there, it is still very, very early in the morning. The retrieval process of bodies, the identification and the notification of relatives, so it could take some time. Indeed, and look, dark would have fallen fairly swiftly after the crash. As you say, there were some pictures around of people standing on the shore of the river watching parts of the plane wash up. We know that there was a retrieval exercise underway late yesterday. Whether that continued into the night or for how long, I'm not sure, but I imagine that they'll be starting again at first light. But it's very much a retrieval exercise because it's been declared that there were no survivors from the crash.